Hey, it's Mike over at Cross Country Mortgage. It's time for your Monday morning mortgage update for the week of April the 8th. Hope you all had a great weekend. It was beautiful, beautiful in the North State. Sunny weather, a little cold with the wind, but definitely spring is in the air. And hopefully you got out and enjoyed it. So what happens in the market? What happened last week and what's going to happen this week? I always try to give you tools, tips, tactics, scripting, things that you can use when you go out and talk to your buyers and sellers and have those impactful conversations. So last week, we saw rates get worse, 34 basis point sell-off in the bond market. Money flowed out of it. It should have been a lot worse because there was a lot of data that came out last week that should have moved those rates a lot higher. Inflation was up. PCE, which is the main report that the Fed uses to kind of determine their policy and what they're going to do. That was up. 300,000 more jobs are added. Oil prices were up. And consumer debt was up. Consumers are buying stuff. So when consumers buy stuff, that's strong for the economy, bad for rates. When oil prices are up, that's inflationary, bad for rates. When they add more jobs to the economy, good for the economy, bad for rates. When PCE and inflation reports are up, bad for rates. But the rates didn't go up as much as they should have because the jobs numbers, which beat expectations, was unbelievable. Nobody thought it was real. We've had this issue for a long time where the current administration's coming out with their surveys. They've recalculated the algorithms and how they come out with this months ago, and it just flies in the face of what some of the real data is showing. But the bond traders didn't believe it, and that's why we didn't see those rates move higher. So what are we looking at this week? We always try to give you some insight, 3 things this week. Inflation, again, is always up there. Rate cuts and the Fed selling debt. So CPI and PPI, 2 big monthly inflationary reports coming out Tuesday and Wednesday. And everything's expected to go up. Year over year expected to go up. The number that they come out with this month is going to replace last year's same month number, expected to go up. The month over month number expected to go up. Import and export prices are coming out Friday. Those are expected to be higher. All inflationary, not good for rates. Second thing is rate cuts. So in December of 2023, everybody was saying, hey, we're going to see 6 rate cuts in 2024. And then the first Fed meeting in February, they said, okay, inflation isn't under control. Some other stuff showing the economy is still strong. We're probably going to see 3 rate cuts, maybe 6, but most of the Fed members said 3 rate cuts. And then we saw some data that came out last week, and we now expect maybe 0 to 1 rate cuts. A lot of Fed members have been talking, and they've changed their tune. And so we may not see any rate cuts. We may see just 1 rate cut at the end of the year. So very different in just a 5-month period from 6 to 0 to 1. Obviously, that affects mortgage rates indirectly. But until we see inflation get under control, and it hasn't shown signs of it, we're not going to see rate cuts. The Fed's not going to do this. They have been very clear that they need to see data that inflation is under control before they're going to start cutting the Fed fund rate. And the last thing is Fed selling debt. They do this every month, They sell debt. They sell notes and bonds. And on Thursday, a 30-year bond is being auctioned off so that the Fed can raise money. And will there be an appetite for it? Why is this important? Because it mimics the mortgage-backed security, 30-year mortgage-backed security. And so if bond investors and traders buy in bulk this auction and buy a lot of it, that could be good for mortgage rates. So we're starting out the week carefully floating. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, we've got a lot of data that could move rates higher. Thursday, we might see some data that actually improves rates, but cautiously floating today. Have a great productive week. If you know somebody can benefit from this video, please forward it to them. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear your comments. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.